Good day, it's Tim Cross here. I hope I'm live. I don't know how I'll know whether I'm live or not. But this is a match between Brendan Burgess and Lawrence Powell, two of the long-time stalwarts of British Isles backgammon. Brendan from Ireland and Lawrence from London, England. Both great players, and looking forward to seeing it. Brendan's improvement recently has been pretty staggering. So it's now a very close match. Lawrence always having been recognised as one of the top players in the UK and world. Complete regular for the UK team. So I don't know how can I tell whether I'm live? I'll just keep talking on. They seem to have stopped, which implies this hasn't started. I'll try and get hold of Mate and find out if we're on now. Brendan is normal, jovial self, and entertaining Lawrence as normal. And seem to be having fun. So I'm looking forward to this match. It's an 11-point match in the quarterfinals. Well, let's see how it goes. All right, hey, come on, okay. All right, are we? We're live. Yeah, I've already done an introduction. I hope that came through. And I'm joined here by Sean Clennell, a great player from London, England, and we're going to enjoy the match together. And feel free to join in. I've won. Standard play so far. Is that a 5-4? I'm struggling to see the dice. 5-4. Obviously, it's a 5-4. Make the golden point anchor, and the game will settle down now as soon as that's done. Lawrence in return makes an advanced anchor. One of the best tips you learn early on in backgammon. Counter an advanced anchor with an advanced anchor. Double 3 now for Brendan to play, and he plays an aggressive play straight away, making the board, making a strong board straight away and putting pressure on Lawrence for the future. Already, Lawrence, because of Brendan's attacking play, is good to be normally playing safe plays and trying to get this into a race position. He's in better position to do that because of his strong anchor, and so playing safe is much more of a long-term plan that could bear dividend. (4-3). We're not going to do anything massive here. Just come in with a 4 and bring the 3 closer to the action. Because Lawrence is, of course, going to be very reticent to leave that anchor. So I would, as Lawrence is slightly ahead in the race, he wants to come up to the 18 point and there's no natural plays again. I would be playing 2 down like this as a blocking play, but I always say, don't disregard the midpoint, but the never leaving your midpoint is the most overrated rule in backgammon. But that's just me and my view. And sometimes I leave the midpoint too much. So we've got a really interesting position here. It's not equal. Oh, we're getting a room full of people here. We've got Nick Check, Kent Goulding, but they're going to be quietly listening to me, which knowing these 2 people will be hard. I'm looking forward to other people joining in and saying what they have to say, whatever they feel like saying. So, see, this is making Brendan's double 3 play he played earlier very aggressively. It's just showing it stems from there, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. And I can see why he's getting good results when you look at positions like this. In fact, he's got to be looking at as soon as you get the rack +1 like this, Brendan should already be looking at this cube. He should be. He's not too good because of White's advanced anchor. So I don't know why he's not. I'm pretty sure there's some missed cubes going on here because Black is very, very strong. He's now approaching too good to double. But I think Lawrence will be passing this one, even with the 2 checkers back.
I agree. I think he waited too long. He's maybe 1 roll away from being too good here.
Yeah.
And certainly had a double that I would have made for the last couple of rolls, and then would have to think about it from the other side.
Thanks, Kent. That was Kent joining in and helping me. Thank you. I don't know how many of you know Kent, but he's one of my heroes from the past with his literature and his comedy writing in America, and he's obviously been a giant many times, and we're really honoured to have him with us today in the UK Open. So please all feel free to join in. We've all got something interesting to say. Like I say, Sean and Nick have proved themselves over time, so let's all feel free to join in. 5-3. I'm interested in watching Brendan's style because he played that double 3 really easily, and it really worked for him. And so I'm interested if that's the cause of all Brendan's recent fantastic form. So 6-2. Split between wanting to move forward and get his back checkers moving. He can't do everything all at once.
I might have jumped out.
Yeah. So 6-5. So now Lawrence has escaped his back checkers, and this changes everything. And you should always be aware that when you've escaped your back checkers, it's one of the keys, like when your opponent's on the bar, where you stop and think, is this the time to look at a cube? And presumably Lawrence has done a rapid count to fight, but because he's already approaching, just the fact you've escaped both checkers and a race lead, even without a board, is a strong indicator often that you can double. And here we go. So you should know these positions off by heart, and it's all about the race position here.
But speaking of which, if the race is particularly bad for Black,
yep,
then making the anchor may not even be correct.
Yes, agreed. I'm afraid I take about 40 seconds to count these races, so when they're not doing it themselves, I'm behind. So here we go. Now, I'm pretty sure this is a double, even on face value. I would be counting to make sure I'm a lot more than a normal race lead ahead. And if I'm a lot more than a normal race lead ahead, I would double in this position. Oh, there's a pip count, is there?
15 times 7.
Oh, right, 50, yeah.
Well done. If we can multiply that.
Yeah.
105.
Yeah, and Lawrence finds the double.
And blacks.
And black passes. So yeah, no, we've not got the race count here. It takes me about 40 seconds to count once every 2 or 3 games. 2 or 3 games.
I'm a little surprised he played so quickly here.
Yeah.
This is where, even as a highly experienced tournament player, I would have stopped and made sure I had my bearings in terms of what the race looks like. Because
exactly.
Once black was anchored in an advanced point, so you have room to dump behind him.
Yes.
You can have some. There may still be takes, but you can have some pretty powerful doubles, which a lot of people miss.
That's right, and that was I think I was making the same point on that as well, just earlier. The same that you just you need to be aware of the race and these kind of as soon as both checkers are escaped, you absolutely need to know the race, because it's one of the, as I said, I was saying, one of the indicators about whether to double or not.
Just a roll or two back, black rolled 2-6 from the bar and had a choice of whether to slot the 5 or the 7 point.
Yeah.
The key when trying to make these decisions, and they come up often, the key is which number plays better for your opponent, 4s or 6s. And if you're duplicating his 4, slot the 5 point. If you're duplicating his 6, slot the 7.
Yes, I've only just brought that into the game. That idea, especially of slotting the. Why does XG slot the bar point more sometimes when instead of the 5 point? And it's because 6s play well in escaping, and therefore it's an effective duplication play. 6-1. Okay, this is getting tough, but still not enough. But with no board made, it's still nowhere near a cube for both sides, yeah. And nobody's throwing just the right numbers. It's awkward backgammon here.
Well, it's a nice mess.
It is, but I think this is pretty straightforward. Just bring another player into play, placing it on the midpoint, and just so when you've got nothing to do like this, you just get your checkers all back together on the same team, as it were. So
right. And here, as you're saying, the black checker on the 16 point is somewhat protected by the fact that white only has 2 checkers on his midpoint. So pulling a move out like this isn't just tidying up a block. It's putting much more pressure on that black block.
Yes, well played. Good set. And this is a nice point to make. One of the things I played Hideaki recently, and one of the things that he played really hard, aggressive backgammon against me. I was really impressed with the determination. But one of the things that did surprise me was how quickly he made outfield points where I had to think about it, and he made them absolutely almost instantaneously. And it's something I've tried to bring into my game.
One of the things XG taught me from, I played for 30 years at a high level with no XG. Then I took 15 or 20 years off, and then I came back and XG ruled, and I had to retrain myself.
Yes.
30 years ago, I had a saying in the opening, the man with the most blocks wins.
Right.
And it turns out that all these builders, I was spreading all around the board, these builders and active checkers were really a little more liability. And the idea that a point is a point was more valid than not, which is what you're talking about. Grabbing an outfield point, almost any outfield point, is much more powerful than we gave it credit for years ago. That's right, and I'm in the same boat as you, that I've had to do the same. So, well, this is quite natural play now. Black's got an advantage now, positionally, and it's how quickly he can take advantage of that. It's still not right. He needs to make an inner-board point before he can do anything too dramatic. But I... Well, look at this mess. You can make... Yeah. You can do all kinds of things. I look at that. Yeah. 2-1. And Lawrence's defence now quickly catching up. There's a powerful board. A powerful board makes... compensates for a lot of things, and that's what Lawrence has done. There's a lot to be said for actually leaving that block there. With the 3-point made and
Yes.
a tremendously strong black position, you can afford to get hit.
And now we've got and even more than anything, an advanced anchor also cures a lot of ills as well. You know, to new students, I say, you know, why is an advanced anchor so good? We all know an advanced anchor is good, but why is it so good? Well, I would say there's three main ways you win a backgammon match: racing, blitzing, and priming. And if you get an advanced anchor, it really takes two of those three ways of losing out of the equation. And that's why an advanced anchor is really strong. So if you're coming to this game, my number one rule in backgammon is get an advanced anchor. It takes away a lot of the pain.
And also, no gammons with an anchor as well.
Yes.
And also, you take a lot deeper with an anchor.
But it's, for the same reasons.
Speaking of the race, does anybody know what's going on here? Because that plays a huge influence on how you might play this role.
It does.
I mean, if Black's way ahead in the race,
He'll just
all
play
this
safe.
contact, just play safe and win the race. In fact, if he's way ahead in the race, he can double. But I don't believe he's that far ahead in the race.
He's seen this. He has noticed that, and well played, Brendan. Yeah, he should be playing safe now. But this.
Oh, look at that! Gains in the race, and he's frozen.
Okay, so it's getting interesting. I still don't think Black's got a double now because the race has got a lot closer. Here we go. It's going to all happen. It's all happening in the next roll.
Well, and the next trick is if White dances, does it get too good? Whoop, that didn't happen.
Oh, wow.
Well, now what's the hit count?
Right.
What's the hit count?
These are gammonish.
It cannot be a more volatile position.
This
required a lot more thinking than he gave.
Yes, absolutely. That could have been a double. Just because something's an easy take doesn't mean something's not a double. And that's one of the things, again, another thing that is good to learn.
And we're in backgammon territory here if he can scoop all these up. The Hoover maneuver.
I knew I'd say that. I saw a video of you in the 70s saying
it's probably still a bit too good.
I think so. I mean, he got in, I better cash my point. No. I mean, what can you roll that's bad?
Yeah,
I think every single number hits.
There's so many.
This is letting them off the hook.
A tiny bit too passive.
That's going to be a red block on the XG analysis. Well, that was fun.
It was. It could have been really dramatic. But one of the big things was when the position was so volatile, as Ken pointed out, there was a really big cube decision for Brendan. And my tip was just because something's an easy take in volatile positions, it doesn't mean to say it's not a double. And that's another thing I'd like you to bring into your games, people.
Doubling from the bar is vastly overlooked at how powerful it can be. I mean, if you've got 18 or 20 enter numbers, which win gammons, you should be doubling.
Absolutely. And just because you double and it doesn't work, then you pass the next roll. It doesn't mean you've made a really bad mistake. It's backgammon. The dice are the kings, and they tell us what to do. But you cannot afford to miss these gammonish cubes. Action position. Oh, and here we are. We've got a 3-6 from the bar. So White needs to slow down. Slow down, Lawrence. Yes, he is doing. And that's a nice cube. So if you remember, I said early on a couple of triggers for thinking of cubing are: one, when you escape all your back checkers, and two, when your opponent's on the bar. Always, if your opponent dances or has one checker, always at least consider a double. I'm not saying double every time, but it's one of the triggers to make you consider doubling. Okay, so this is a good double. It would be a relatively easy take apart from that checker on the 9 point.
Right. I mean, the one thing to notice is that white and black structures are identical.
Right.
Black has an anchor, so bad things can happen, but the world's not going to end, as opposed to the position we saw before.
I think.
A lot of the 9 points a big deal. It would not surprise me that
Yeah,
this was a take.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I do got an opinion, Sean. Do you think that was a take? It was.
I think it
close.
was one of those where it's a take, but it's a reluctant take.
Yes. Okay, so we're 2-2 to 11. In effect, it's now a 9-point match. Let's see what happens. Let's see them doubling slightly aggressively, especially Brendan. And let's see. Brendan's already impressed me with his natural, with that double three that he played so well, and that I would have overcomplicated it. And he showed me how good it turned out to be by having that insta board.
This is a bit of a mess for White here. Might be right just to smite him off the 4 point.
Yeah, but at least it's a tempo play.
It's a tempo play. It might work. Check it might be made.
If in doubt, hit, yes, sure. I can't see an alternative.
No, alternatives are just trying to hide, which is a mistake.
Yeah, always play to the back and not to the left.
Yeah.
If you hit, good things happen.
Well, this is exciting.
Yeah, that's the problem is he loses his 8 point when he played that play. I don't think I'd have hit with the second there.
Now he's got to clean up the mess,
Yes.
which should clean fairly easily.
So
Oh, it's the same checker doing both things. Maybe you just cover the
I
nine and build a 2. I don't know. what else to
exactly.
do.
Well, you've got a big advantage, so you can just play safe. So he's okay with it.
Now, White needs something
Yes.
this roll. He certainly doesn't have to get worse.
And that's enough. Okay, but he needed to make an advance there. I'm not sure.
Well, I wouldn't play. That's the last 2 I
no.
play. I mean, honestly, that's the last legal 2 I play.
Yeah,
You know?
13, yes.
but yeah,
Well, I might have actually hit with the 2, but even
But
stepping up
anything-
with anything other than stacking them all up on the 6 point must have been better.
so and at least he started taking off 6 point.
Look
I'm
how
not sure
bad,
about-
Look how
Exactly.
bad White's position is here.
I'm not sure about that the three even there.
I'll leave that back.
Yeah. Well, he's got race advantage, Sean, so that's why even though it suits him positionally, there's nothing like getting your back 2 checkers escaped. It's it really. So
How's the pip count and how are we on possibly doubling?
yeah, this is good enough to double now. Well played, but it's a straightforward take. But you need to know these positions. Where you stand in holding game positions.
I'm not sure he wants that point.
Would have that been taken? You left the man on his 24 point.
It would have been.
I mean, a cue.
It would have been a much tougher cue and an even
think
easier
it would be
take. Yeah, probably not. Okay, 6-2. Can he afford to leave the midpoint?
What can he afford not to is another way to look at it.
Sorry, he's thinking about. I meant with 1 or actually, yeah. I meant and leave. Does he play the 2 to the 5 or? I think he has to come down. I don't think he can afford bringing gammons into the equation if he stayed. So 5-1.
When do we let go of the 10 point?
Yes, like you mentioned it, and I agree. It's more of a liability than a strength. White's position actually, maybe I overrated White's position because had White already got the extra checker on the 2 points?
Yeah, he had. He
He
had.
did. All right. Okay.
Well, here we can clean up.
No,
Don't touch those. Don't touch those.
Clean the ones.
You should all go to the
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, because you've got such 2 good landing points, changes things massively. Double 4. At least he played 10-8, which was a good play. So that has made things a bit better. So it won't be quite as disastrous.
There's a lot of pips there, but
Yeah.
I still suspect this doesn't count out too well for White.
It's played 6-2.
Look at that.
Well, we're suddenly closing up on the race here.
Hey, where's Art Benjamin to apply 97 term formulas to get us within 4%? I saw his lecture this morning. They served 3 bottles of aspirin halfway through.
He was so complex. I'm intrigued when he said that, there we go, 2-2. But we do need to just check the race. But we were still playing that even if we're behind the race. So it's no big deal.
It's blocked. It's 6 to get out of there. So,
It was a close race, not anymore.
So obviously just play it safe. That's it.
I nearly mentioned that extra checker on the 3-point might be handy because there were no 2s to play, and there it went.
There we go. Play safe. Just seeing how we're quite a long way even with a 6-6. You don't lose any pips by playing 13-4, so you play it. If you were losing, maybe you lose 2 crossover pips, but the gammon isn't in question, so we still stay. Okay, now it's time to go. Oh,
Notice the total wastage for 4s,
yes.
as long as black has checkers on his 5 and 6 point. 3s aren't totally wasted because you fill in a hole, but the
Yeah.
4s don't fill in a hole.
The shots here. So I think Lawrence
One double 6 is away, and this is actually a race.
I think he'll wait one more go here. I think he should just wait. What? No, look, you're not gonna win a race.
Not very often.
No.
6 bad numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say?
Yeah.
Well, there's a nice awkward ball. Are we 1 6s away from being interesting? That's not 6s.
Right. 6-5. Okay, so I'm calling this one as over as 4-2 to 4-2 to Brendan. So
There's no time pressure here. Maybe it's human nature to get adrenaline rush when you get into a final or a late round. And playing with a clock, which players have gotten much more used to now than they were.
yeah, they are playing.
Years
Yeah.
ago. But these guys are playing too fast.
Absolutely. And it's for such experienced players as well. I'm surprised Lawrence is. Look at that. Lawrence has used less than 3 minutes. So knowing match coaching, but if I was a coach, I would just remind him to slow down because he's not known as a speedy player, Lawrence.
Lawrence is Mr. Calm.
Exactly.
I've never seen Lawrence being ever
No,
flustered.
but he is joining into Brendan's tempo, so he might not be flustered, but he is playing much too quickly here, especially for Lawrence, There are some interesting cube decisions. Now, I agree that this is the kind of play you can play almost instantly, but interesting one here. I think it's got to be the hit.
Yeah, so do I. But I think I'm not 100% certain of it. But that seems. Yeah. The other play is, as was just mentioned, the other play is like playing not to lose.
This is really fast cube action.
Where's our ace?
I agree with it.
Think about it.
Yeah.
5-6.
Black can do a little bit of wiggling here. Oops, that doesn't count. He's not in such terrible shape. If he can't get in, re-anchor, then this can get bad quickly. If he just gets in.
Okay, wow. Double
Well,
five.
that's
Not the best.
no. If you roll it again, it's downright bad. I think it's probably right to swap the point here. Maybe, but I personally would have just dropped it in there.
Now we'll be looking at a 4-point board plus.
I mean, just flash back to that last 5 and put your checkers where they want to go and leave those back to fill in the holes. And getting hit's not the end of the world. My goodness, Black has no home board whatsoever.
I quite like the simple making a 9-point here. We've got enough time for that.
Oh, now, right. I was talking about the double 5s before.
Right, yes, sorry, yeah. I think I quite like the solidity of making the 9-point because it's a builder as well, can be used as a builder. And, you know, it avoids 4 or 5. I know it's only 4 shots, but it's significant. Yeah, and Lawrence has agreed with me.
Yeah, it also allows you to freely move the back checker if you can't do something else.
Yes.
And not have to worry about the man with the most blots wins.
Yeah.
You know, a point is a point.
So,
I like that idea, actually.
yeah.
And if you don't do that, what do? Yeah, I guess come in with a 4. Yeah, that's double 3, and that fills in the 2.
We must plug the 2 points.
Yeah,
surely.
absolutely.
I mean, the pimple on the 3-point looks ugly, but the position's fine. You can afford that.
Okay, double 4.
Is a good
Right.
response.
Oh, this is delightful.
Yes. And 2, yes.
Oh, this is really nice. Now you
Interesting. Now this could go. This is.
Well, that's
whoa!
exactly what you don't want. This makes the position self-destruct as opposed to improve.
This can turn in Brendan's favour.
Well, obviously, being ahead at 4-2 with be weak, but be very careful before you.
It has. We're not in that territory yet, but we could soon get there.
I like that too. I think if White steps up, you're going to want to point on him. So that the spare on the 5-point is okay. If need be, you can give up the 7 or 8 point. But that's okay. Just don't.
Yes.
You know, anything without a 6 can be a mess because White's running out of pips. What was that? 4-2.
That was a 4-2. Oh, I didn't see that.
Little number, little tiny. What was that?
I'm missing
4-4.
4-4.
I think I keep them spread out as much as possible and have 2 different broken 5 primes.
Yes.
You got a broken 5 prime against the ace point. You got a broken 5 point against the opposite the 3 point.
But now 60s work on both sides of the board.
That's also true.
Yes.
It's
60s are educated.
Sorry?
Oh,
Yeah.
one 4.
poker terms, a double gut shot straight.
Well, this is really on the knife edge now.
Now you just roll small
Yeah.
and win the
it does.
priming battle.
Yes.
That's,
Well,
you may have 2 rolls to do it. White
It
needs
might.
2.
It could even be all done in this go. That's pretty bad, isn't it?
Well, he keeps 4 in a row, but is that enough to?
Wow.
Is
Now, if Brendan was behind, this would be a no-brain redouble. Being ahead, it was a lot closer.
Being ahead with a weekend, it's very hard to
Okay.
find a correct weekend. Playing down Dublin window
I mean,
here.
if this was the first game of the match, I think the bigger
Yeah.
question would be: is it a take than a double?
Yeah.
Is that?
I think it's tough. Yeah, I think. Let me. This can turn around out both ways quickly. I would certainly, even at 4-2, just hold the cube for one more go.
It can also accidentally, by the way, if you fill in the 3 point, you're almost instantly playing for a gamma.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know?
That would get you to 8-2.
But he's got the 2. Okay, here we go.
he's
Now this is fun. Now all kinds of
Well,
match
Brendan,
equity stuff starts to creep in. And we need someone who knows what they're talking about to get that exactly right.
Okay, but surely this is a take at.
Yes.
Surely this is a take at this score. So this is where you want XG feed to make sure we're not making all fools of ourselves, but we're not going to get it. So it's
nice to know what we're thinking about and what worries us.
I'm pretty convinced the chance of having access to the 8 cube will be irresistible to me here.
Also, White's position is substantially stronger than it looks offensively.
Yes.
What's Black going to do? If Black rolls a 5 here and can't fill in the 3-point, and he comes out, then White can attack on his ace point and have a partially squashed 5-point board and have all the time in the world to roll a 2-5 or a 2 and then a 5 or a 2 and then a 6. This is easier to win for White than it might look at first glance. Even if Black rolls in his 3-point, he might next roll 4-3 twice and not be able to leap the 5 prime and have the 4 prime and have his board break.
And it's a double pass, so great double, Brendan, regardless of what XG says. Well played.
That's a great position.
It was. I'm really fascinated by that. I'm looking forward to after this commentary finishes, re-looking at that position and seeing exactly where we were, and see if we all thought it. I certainly thought that was a take for Lawrence at this score. So
it shows how good players double with their head in matches. And it worked here.
Okay, 5-4. So Brendan's 6-2 up, and fights for the 4-point. Lawrence has been Lawrence has dropped and is still in the fight. So let's, like I said, I'd love to get that figure. Is there anybody commentating? Is there any spectators? Well, we can't see the comments anyway, so we're going to have to wait till afterwards. Thanks, Chief.
What's going on here? We can hit and cover. We can pick one off the outfield. It seems like you want to.
I think hit and cover.
It seems pretty straightforward.
Yes.
What thought to the second hit there with that 2?
Sorry, I've lost track.
It went past us too fast.
Yes, it did. So 6-2, nice anchor for Lawrence, and stronger board for Black. So Lawrence, as Mitchie pointed out in his book, will play a lot safer than you would imagine. He's immediately how far is he going to go to playing safe now? Because he's got the tempter immediately of a play that safeties a checker and hits. And so however many thematic plays you have in backgammon, you always have to respect the dice. The dice tell us, and sometimes people talk about game plans and themes, but if the dice tell you otherwise, you have to obey the dice, not the game plan. And it's knowing what makes a top player is knowing whether to follow the theme or the dice.
What about making the 18 point? Is that
that would have been.
This is something again playing awfully quickly.
They are.
And make sure you identify what your candidate plays are before you make a choice.
I'm really surprised at the speed Lawrence especially is playing at. It's I don't think he's helping himself here. He's just flying through this game.
There's 86 people watching.
Good. Hello all 86, pleased that you're all watching. It's going to get more as this tournament develops. It's been a great tournament, well attended. So 6-3. Yeah, well, we were struggling a bit. So I didn't like that 6-3. Again, these players are being played at lightning speed. They're really tough plays. So,
Now, this is once again, a mess can happen quickly.
yes.
Um,
But the speed of the play is
well,
just
now,
lightning
is
fast.
this,
At least, and nice to think you're thinking about it, yeah. But this is, again, quoting our friend Mitchie, a horrible, it's just called 5 away, a horrible score. And we've learned from that, and that's why you need to think about Cuban. And even in plays like this, where one side has got the big advantage, the race is still relevant. There
oh,
we
nice
go.
roll.
Well done.
That takes some of our fun away because
Yeah.
Black was, other than the match score, Black was quite possibly had a double last
Yes.
turn.
Yeah.
But now everything's much closer with the 5 point being filled in, and the White's position no longer looks so completely disjointed. Almost looks like a normal position.
Yes.
Yes.
You don't want 6 checkers on your 6 and 3 on your 2 and no other checkers in your home board. That's not a good structure to strive for.
That's it. And this has happened a couple of times to Lawrence, and I'm convinced he's playing some of these players a bit too quickly. He's calm demeanour, but he's playing a bit too quickly, in my opinion.
Might it be right to hit here?
6-3. So let's play the 6 first, and I would say yes.
8 to 5.
Both are certainly reasonable here.
Yeah, I
Too,
prefer.
if White doesn't get out, he's almost zugzwang. His position here can get worse rather than better if he doesn't escape with that back checker.
Six, 4. I think
Too bad that checker wasn't on the midpoint because you could spread them out. I actually like the hit.
I do.
Oh, there's a nice shot.
Hang on, it's cocked that time.
Now
Oh, is it? Oh, wow.
nestled in.
Wow.
Now a 3 makes everything delightful for Black. A 4 makes it interesting because 4 what? And dancing's not good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, look at the score. I mean, and there's some good psychology, by the way,
Yes.
to think about this in advance. And if you're going to double, do it confidently and quickly.
Yes.
There you go.
No, I mean, there was a judge in the streaming, and it just appeared on
Oh, wow. And how easy was that to pass, by the way?
I felt probably at this score it was a pass.
Right, but it's,
yeah, I could be wrong. I'm not.
I'd have certainly thought about it.
Yeah.
You know, that's another reason why that quick, confident double.
And we're having a break already. That's it's been like rapid action, and we so far have got the score is 6-3. Brendan has only used 4 minutes of his time, and Lawrence only 4.5. So I don't know what's causing this quick play, especially from Lawrence. I feel Lawrence is being dragged into this, and it would do him good to slow down, but nobody should be coaching him in between games.
Have they been live?
The Backgammon Galaxy mobile app. Star membership, high analysis, blunder database, private games, coin games, rating games, and much, much more. Improve your backgammon skills by reading the best books on the market, available on Amazon. Links in the description below.
Hey guys, this is Mark Olsen from Backgammon Galaxy. In this video, we're going to show you the Adventure board, which is one of the new boards from the Backgammon Galaxy collection. The idea of this board is luxury travel. That's the concept of this board. For those of you guys like me who don't want to play at a lousy little travel board, we designed this board so you get the full luxury experience even though you're just playing on a small travel board. So let's have a look. It has this beautiful black frame. We covered it with leather so that it can take some scraps here, no problem. And let's open it up and have a look at this beautiful board. So it comes with this super cool, travel-friendly checker box. Let's open it and you know what, let's put it over here. And the checkers are 35mm checkers, so they're smaller than a regular tournament board. But you still get exactly the same high quality checkers as you do on the Earth board or the Void board. They're beautiful, these checkers. Small, travel friendly, a joy to play on. I personally don't like playing backgammon on all these cheap little travel boards, so this board is just perfect, you know, if you're going to the beach club or to a cafe, or you just want to hang out with your wife or girlfriend, have a quick game. I think this is the perfect board. We kept all the luxury details, the design, the checkers. It even comes with these proper cups here and a beautiful doubling cube. The dice, as you can see, it's a real luxury backgammon board. You know, it's just smaller dimensions. Can you play a big tournament on this board? You could, but it's a little bit small. But you could because of the high quality. But that's not what this board was meant for. We maximized portability and luxury. And yeah, we're very proud of this board. Let me show you how small this board actually is. Here we have a comparison. This is the Void board in the background, and this is the Adventure board in the front ground here. As you can see, this is so much smaller. You can have it in your backpack or your beach bag. So easy to carry around. You can just grab it by under the arm, and it doesn't weigh much. And yeah, it's just incredibly beautiful from the outside as well. It comes in 3 different colors, I believe. We might make more color combinations in the future, but for now, we have the green Earth board as well. And then of course we have the Galaxy Neptune blue. Yeah, so it comes in different color combinations. I'm very happy with this board. I used it several times during the recent year. It's just a pleasure to finally have a luxury portable travel board to carry around. So that's all for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.
Where is Mishi, guys? I'm ready to roll the dice. Hey, Mishi! Mishi! Hello, everybody. I'm Ali Çetin Belene. I'm part of UBC Contender 2022. And now you see me with a white board, which is my favorite board, actually. The best thing that I like this board is the checkers. It feels like a stone, man. And also, I like simple design here, And I also like the sound when the dice hit the frame or checkers hit the frame. I really can't wait for the next year UBC to play with these lovely boards. Bye everybody.
What's up, backgammon fans? In this video,
Okay. Okay, so the score is rejoining. This is Tim Cross with Kent Goulden, Nick Check, and Tim Stuckey, or Parfit, whichever you want to call him. I don't think he's bothered. He's also in the room, happy to contribute. Yeah, and we've been saying that this game is going at lightning pace. You know, for the quarterfinal of the UK Open, serious match. Lawrence, a well-established and known name in UK backgammon, in my opinion, is being dragged into Brendan's pace. But Lawrence knows what he's doing. You would imagine. But if I was his coach, I would be just slowing him down a tiny bit. And straight away, we've got a difficult decision. Do we make the fantastic? Do we make the fantastic 5-point or do we hit? What's your thoughts, Kent? I really am struggling with that play.
I would hit.
Yeah.
You don't want to actually be.
I'm really.
I'll make 5 points.
Yeah, I have found that my attempts from the old days to play backgammon like chess and improve my position and not just take a check because I see a check were maybe overdone. XG has got me to back up a little bit and hit more and be positionally clever a little less. It's not a complete turnaround, but it's more of a modification, and I don't know what's right there.
This is a typical Brendan play that's serving him so well. This really aggressive board building, and it's serving him well. And we saw in the very first game just how. Oh, here we go! Look at this.
Well, this is sort of forced.
Yeah, it is.
It doesn't have a lot of choices.
No. Okay, and he's.
I think in for a penny, in for a pounding.
Yeah, I had a recent tip. So when you're blitzing, you go into a blitz like you're a bar brawl. You walk in and you either walk out on your back, you either get carried out on your back, or you walk out big and strong. There's no in between. You don't ask favors. You just in for a penny, in for a pound. Yeah.
Why did they saw off the bottom part of the board?
But this bar brawl is looking a tiny bit one-sided. So Lawrence needs to get a jab back in with a 2 here. Oh no, I think I would still carry on coming down and bringing down. Okay, so Lawrence needs to. He's got his first attempt at a fight back. So let's carry this bar brawl agenda on. And we've got, so Brendan must, wow. God, I wasn't expecting that. That might not be that bad a double, actually. Intriguing.
No, this can go, it's not so likely to close out now. You're on the bar.
You're on the bar.
This is,
who are Lauren? Yeah.
Speaking of doubling from the bar.
Yes.
You know?
And speaking of, wow, this is a kind of play. I can see why Brendan's getting those results.
Yes. May be takeable.
Yeah, and that's what's so hard.
Because
he has done. Oh.
Good. This is much. We're definitely in favor.
We want this. Oh, and look at me.
Now I think he has to do this.
Yeah. And now he obviously brings the 1 from the back to.
Right.
Yeah. Another danger he's got is that was a great double, Brendan. We didn't see it coming, and
double 5.
Whoa! How do we finish? Oh, it's the other way. I thought it was whites. That's horrible.
Okay.
Well,
that's it. That's the first 3. That's fine. Well, I'm not sure why you played the last one that way. Oh yeah, 6 unduplicating 6s. So, Brendan, you're a formidable opponent with the way you play with the cube and aggressive board building. I completely understandable why you're getting all the results recently.
The double threes were stronger for a subtle reason in that it moved the hole you need to fill much closer to the checkers.
Yes.
As opposed to moving the checkers closer to the point you want.
Okay.
A 5 and then another 5. This is pretty much. Yeah, this is pretty much a gammon unless he gets hit in the barrel.
Wow, well played, Brendan. That was caught us all by surprise here.
It doesn't mean it wasn't a take, by the way.
No,
no.
Yeah, if the 5 had gone the other way around, we were talking completely differently today.
And the double threes was just a spectacular starting shot.
Yes.
I mean,
2.
Now we're just trying to make sure we don't lead a shot with double 6s.
Yes. Brendan's on top of this.
Now we just skipped forward a player or two. In some situations where the gammon is not so clear, the completely safe bear off may not be the way to go. Sometimes leaving a spare on the 5 point is not a bad idea.
Oh, we've got
Here we go.
We have 2 high numbers.
Yeah.
We want for the game. Oh,
that's
Brendan.
Terrible.
Brendan's. This is a tough one to run off, I think.
3, 4, 6, 10, 16, 17 crossovers to save the gammon. Opposite 1, 2, 3, 5 rolls. That's okay. I think it's still.
Good start.
Still hard.
Yeah.
I get offered 4. He's still a couple of doubles behind.
2 down.
I could bring the 5 in. Not sure it matters.
No. Just these double the.
He has 6, 8, 9 crossovers to go. It's not going to be easy with 2 rolls.
No. No, Lawrence gives it well played. No. Brendan's striking me as a tough opponent.
We get a little bit of fun here on the Crawford game to, we've got the go for a gammon situation. Winning 2 points is, 1 game closer than winning just 1 point for the trailer here. Right?
Yes, absolutely. It's gammon go struck for the rest of the match. Lawrence will be playing gammon go backgammon for the rest as this game goes. It's very important to understand when you're even or odd away at Crawford about whether you need 1 or 2 points because you always want to be even away if possible. So in effect, straight away, Lawrence gets 2 wins if he gets 2 points here. And so just be aware of it. That's
which, by the way, would have led me back to the much more favorable play of 4 down and slot the 5 point.
Right, yes. But for gammon go backgammon, yes. I'm sure that was right. Was that the opening 4-1?
Yeah, and he split.
Right. Small technical advantage there. They're quite hard to see these dice. I think perhaps black and white dice might be better. I'll give Matt some advice. Have you? Thanks, Sean.
Yeah, the translation.
Black with white dots, both dice.
Is that your favourite? Yeah.
Yeah, you can see clearly.
Even for the black dots.
No, it's black with white dots.
No,
2-1. Does it make the yes?
And bigger dice as well.
By the way, often the easiest way to win a gammon isn't to blitz. So blitz is the obvious way to win a gammon.
Yeah.
But if you can win a priming game, what looks like even a back game like this. If you can prime your opponent and then catch a checker, you can often go back and collect a bunch more. So gaining control of the game by priming your opponent and then having his structure crack, gammons can come up out of nowhere. I don't know about that. I'm not sure I wouldn't have left him back there.
Absolutely.
It creates contact.
Yeah,
I like that.
Okay, so let's have a look here.
13-1.
Yeah,
You can't. Yes, unfortunately.
there's no real upside to making some tricky leave a double shot play.
So Lawrence is trying to maximize contact however he can do that. And that usually involves leaving your back checkers as far back as possible.
Right.
But not always, of course.
It's sort of annoying that 18 point could be grabbed, but I don't think it's correct here. I think you need Black's already got pressure coming home.
Was it worth thinking the 2 down?
I'm not convinced that block shouldn't stay there, by the way.
I am absolutely convinced that was, that one.
Oh, look at this.
It wouldn't have made much difference as it happens. But,
2 down.
but when you're behind in the race with the stronger board, you absolutely play to maximize contact in all cases. And surprisingly, sometimes that you what seems crazy play, crazily pure play, like in the old-fashioned backgammon, is the right play in those kind of situations. And I do really think Lawrence did miss a trick, but it didn't cost him because the 5-5 would have been fantastic anyway.
Right, the blot on 16 point was, or wherever it was, was an annoyance to Black, particularly because of the blot on the Black 2 point. He can't hit the checker and cover and not leave all kinds of combination shots, or hit the checker and not cover, which means he might not be able to clear his midpoint. There were just all kinds of headaches. That blot was almost like an active point.
Yes, it was. Next, Kent.
I went through some of these with Art, playing a 3-point game with Art Sylvester earlier, and he had an interesting way to look about it. It's sort of a shortcut in math. How many rolls leave a shot for Black trying to clear is, in a simpler way, 6-5 is stuck and 6-1 is stuck. So he rates to have 4 potential shot leaving numbers to clear the 8 point.
Yes.
And then 2% potential shot clearing numbers to clear the 6 point, that's 6.
Yeah.
And then 4 potential shot clearing numbers to clear the 5 point, that's 10. And then 6 potential shot clearing numbers to clear, or is it 8? The 4 point is whatever we're up to. And then that gives you then you've got to hit it.
Right.
Okay, and that'll get you in this situation, that gets you up into the take territory, and then you have to win. So I would assess, and the more Black checkers get squashed down to the ace point, the bigger the problems can be.
I've never thought of it that way.
This is not far from a money take.
Wow. Yeah. Actually, that's
it may be a money take with the dead checkers there.
That's a great way of looking at it. I've never done that exercise myself, but it
look at the mess. Now there's double shots.
Made complete sense to me. Okay, so it's now's the time for Brendan to roll his 4-4 or 6-6, because we know
the 5s off the dice.
Oh, he's just tempting us.
Clearing the 6 point is a little bit of a blessing in disguise.
So we go. Well, that's the first
4-2,
one.
that's it.
Come on, for the good of the match, we want a 3 here, Lawrence.
Well, yeah, this makes
let's just do it,
pretty
Lawrence.
easy win if he can hit it.
Now a lot less shots. Now what?
He can play. This is playing this way is just 6-5.
Yes.
And playing closer would be 6-2 and 5-2. Also, it's surprising as you gobble checkers off.
Oh, here we go, 6-5.
There we go. As
Come
you
on,
gobble
Lawrence.
checkers off, you give yourself a little more life after death.
Come on, Lawrence. Come on, let's do it.
Oh.
You're not going to do it, Lawrence, I don't think. It's not going to be.
Now the problem is he's going to be forced to run away before he gets a shot or break his board so that even getting the shot's not going to win the game.
Even the one should, don't want to break the board. Well, we don't want a 6 here. We don't want to see a 6.
You really want a very small number. Oh,
you can.
He's got to stay for one.
I don't think he can. Can you legally win the race? Is it just too far gone?
He's only got
1, 2, 3, 4.
4, 3, 6.
He's only got 4 off. I think it's still right to stay.
4-1, 5-1, 6-1.
Yeah.
6 numbers.
Where's the?
This
there's 7 checkers on the ace point.
2, 4, 6. I think 6, isn't it? I think 5 are off. Yes, there's 5 off.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't. You can't go.
Not going to be able to. Not going to be easy to win even if he hits.
No.
So I suppose there's,
6-1, 5-1, 4-1.
Well done.
And 3-1.
And there we have it.
That's the end of that.
Well done, Brendan. Formidable match play. I was very impressed with Brendan in particular in his aggressive approach to match play. It's really done him good. And Lawrence, I would say you finished this match, Lawrence, with 16 minutes of your valuable thinking time on the clock. There we go. 16 minutes and 5 seconds still left. Lawrence is one of the top UK players and obviously a deep thinker and backgammon. And to leave 16 minutes, that match wasn't as simple as I thought. But Brendan has really impressed me with the aggression.